Shalom, 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 shalom. Hey, youth, how are you? Are you excited about tonight? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Youth, come on, come on. Let's celebrate grace. Let's celebrate grace in the house. You can do better than that. You can shout and blow out this whole building. Come on, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. Let's show that we reign in this place. Yes, we do. Yeah. Isn't this amazing, people of God, God Nation, that we have our mother and our father in this place, gracing us as we speak and ask the deep questions that we have in our life. Mom and Dad, thank you so much. We honor you and we love you so much. Come on, a shout of praise to the King of Kings. And let's celebrate our mother and father. We may all take our seats. Greet your neighbor. Youth, are you there? Oh, yo. Oh, yo. I feel the power in this place. So today we have got an amazing, lovely group of people. I know you're so excited to hear from them. But I'm going to ask you to do something before I introduce them. I'd love you guys to grab a piece of paper and a pen and write the questions that you'd want to ask this panelist if you are shy to ask in person. But if you want a detailed answer, feel free to come close to the roving mics so that you can speak your heart out and today you'll be answered. Let me warn you, people of God, let me warn you. This is going to be a gloves off segment, okay? Which means you're going to ask anything. If I say anything, I mean anything, right? Good. So I'm going to introduce first our couple in the middle. That's Pastor Ado Nyakujga. I know why. You are rigging because you are in Chinoi, right? You are afraid that you close the camp, right? So I've got Pastor Nyakujga and Pastor Munyaradzi Charamba Nyakujga. They've been married for 20 years now. He has got 5 children. In the Panama twinsi pap. He is a marriage officer commissioned by the government of Zimbabwe and also by the church. He has presided over 1,000 marriages so far. He is also a qualified family and marriage counselor, both of them with his wife. He is an educational practitioner. He was a teacher for 15 years in the government of Zimbabwe. He is also, listen to this, a Christian representative on a radio program on Radio Zimbabwe called Chikristu Netika. Okay? He also does a couples program called, so should I say it? Oh, since it's close off, I'm going to say it. It's called Pambeda. He's an events director, MC, and he also runs corporate events, award ceremonies, funerals. He's an acclaimed and a very senior ordained pastor. And he's also the site manager of this prayer mountain. Let's clap our hands for Pastor Ado and Pastor Munyaradzi Nyakujga. Next up, we've got a very fresh couple. So, these ones are the bridge. Because they understand us as youth, because they've just recently gotten into marriage. So they know exactly how to speak to us and understand us from what they have experienced as youth up until they got married. So let's clap our hands for them. So we have Anesu and Gabriela Tembo. Recently got married, a fresh, dripping couple, full of swag. He's a civil engineer. He has done so many roads in this country, including the Mbudzi Exchange. He's part of the team that is there. He's a holder of BSc in civil engineering and is currently sitting on 3 years of work experience in the field, having been involved in the structural designing and building bridges, including the interchange of Mbudzi. His wife is an executive assistant, a holder of LLB and masters in intellectual property law. Vamwana vakadzidza komana. Her career expands from working with international companies in South Africa and Zimbabwe and a law firm in Harare, Zimbabwe. So I'm going to go to Pastor Zua. Pastor Zua is one of the most powerful pastors in the Matabeleland area. He inspired the Bulawayo Assembly to buy a building which was worth a lot of money, people of God. And this was during COVID. He is a man who's also a pioneer of different projects and is also a businessman. Pastor Zua has been in marriage for 23 years now. So Pastor Zua and Amai, both of them, they are marriage counselors. And he is also a marriage officer. He has driven the love agenda in the Matibili land that even a child knows him. That's how strong he is. He is a man that has been commissioned to also give information to young couples that need understanding about love and relationships. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been our couples today. We have Pastor Ado Nyakujga and Amai Mnyaradzi Nyakujga. We've got Anesu Tembo and Gabriela Tembo. We have Pastor Tinashe Zua and Amai Zuva. The story is going to be very simple today. Like I said, we are not going to be beating about the bush today. The advantage that we have is we also have the last couples that were sitting on the pulpit or on the podium last year. They'll be in there also to give us what they think as well as the questions are rounding up. So the story is very simple. You are going to ask any question. You're going to ask questions that you think cannot be answered, but the wisdom in this place is going to give you an answer. The wisdom that is going to come from the experience of age, that is going to come from the experience of time, and that is also going to come from the experience that comes with the spirituality that they hold. Amen? There's a guy who asked a question yesterday. That guy was interesting right at the end. He asked, is it good for a Christian to sell liquor? He was aggressive. I love the way that he asked. I think you can be that aggressive as well so that you can be answered and your life can change. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you, my father and my mother. So my question is, if I have never been lucky in relationship, does that mean I'm destined to be alone? I've been told that I'm not getting in relationships because I'm fat. The relationships that I've been in, they've never lasted more than 6 months. And I've done a lot of terrible things. So
It's okay, my sister. Come on, let's clap hands for our sister. Let's just say we love you to our sister. You are loved, our dear sister. This is a place of grace, so you may openly ask your question. Please go ahead.
So I just want to know if it's because I'm not destined to be so that I stop trying.
Over to you, Pano. Maybe Pastor Nyakujga and Amai, you could start.
Shalom, Mom. Shalom, Baba. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. I really appreciate you. To my sister, I think the Bible says, when the time is right, the Lord will make it happen. When I got married, 2005, I was bigger than you. Mwari anozongounza munhu
God will
nenguva
always
yakafanira.
bring a person in the right time.
Don't lose hope. Just keep on praying. The right person will come. Thank you.
Pastor Nyakujga, would you want to say something?
Okay, thank you so much. My salutation to my father and my mother for giving us this opportunity to manifest before you. Thank you. I want to respond to what my sister has just been saying. First thing, I want to congratulate you for being bold enough to say what you have said. If I picked what you said you have been in so many relationships, but you hardly spent 6 months in each relationship. That's the longest you have had. I don't know if you are comfortable. Maybe I'll assume I would have wanted to know your age. It would have helped me in answering that question. But you know, with ladies, age is not something they are comfortable in sharing. So I'll assume. But when you have a relationship, you must go back to the foundations. Because under the grace that we are operating, you are not supposed to be somebody who constantly falls into the same trap. Thank you. If you make a mistake, it should be once or twice. But when it becomes a habit, it's a cause for concern. So you have to revisit, how are you entering into the relationships? How are they starting? How are you selecting the people that you are starting relationships with? So it goes back to all those factors. There are a lot of factors. Your eye, how is it seeing that which you are accepting? Because there are red flags. When you see somebody coming there, you are bound to pick the mission of a person using the wisdom that we are being imparted constantly in these camps, in the teachings of our father and our mother. You are actually able to see that that person coming doesn't mean good. So I want to help you, my sister. We cannot help the people that are coming because we don't know them, but we can equip you. You have to be vigilant. You have to be streetwise. You have to know the people that are coming, that they don't mean good. So the eye that you are using to accept, to see the people that are coming has to be deleted and formatted afresh so that you see things differently. So some other people are not supposed to be accepted just because they've just come. You should be able to reject some because they mean harm before they even get into you. So the danger is once you accept them, most of the guys that I know who are not saved, or even those that are saved, that are alleged to be saved, they come but they have a mission. And most of them, the mission, you know, with guys, they feel proud to say, you know this girl, I just passed through her now. The guys, they enjoy that. So maybe when they come, that's their mission. They are just coming to pass over you. So you need to know that these guys don't mean anything good. And I'm also happy you said, I've done a lot of things which are wrong. That's very good coming out like that. You mustn't get into those things. It shows that is what they are coming for. And once they get that, they are done. So my advice to you, my sister, edit your eye. Don't be desperate. Never be desperate. And or you're very young, don't worry. No one needs to body shame you. If I'm to talk on behalf of men, if you look at all the men that you see that are married, I want you to do a research. You will see that many men that you see, they have different wives. There are men who have those wives that are gifted in terms of elevation, vertically wise and whatever. And there are men who are married to women who are slim. What am I saying? Every person is attracted to different people. So yours will definitely come. Don't worry about those that are doing body shaming. They are not meant for you. Yours will come like Mama Nyagujiga had said. I don't know. I can give it to others if you want to add. Thank you so much.
Pastor Zua.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Dad and Mom, we salute you. Thank you for this opportunity that you have given unto us. My sister, maybe just to add on to what my colleague have just advised. Meanwhile, whilst you are waiting for him to come, itamari.
Make money.
Number one. Number two, develop yourself. When he comes,
He has to find you already being in an elevated position.
in one of our father's sermons, he said, Itamaruva nyuchi.
As long as you grow flowers, the bees will come.
So it's time that you make money. It's time to develop yourself. It's time to develop yourself mentally, financially, intellectually, and every other aspect that needs development in your life. And the right man will come through at the right time.
I hope you are answered, my sister. And one other thing, my sister, never feel condemned. The gift of salvation is what you received from Christ. And your old life is past. And behold, you are a new creature. So don't think about what people say about you. What do you say about yourself? First, love yourself so that you can be loved as well. Okay? So don't take it to heart when people say, most people who say bad things about other people, they have insecurities inside of them. So they want to share that bad feeling to you. So always know that hurt people hurt people. So don't worry. Let's clap our hands for our sister.
We have another question on your left. You can go ahead, my brother.
Thank you so much, Mom and Dad, for this opportunity. My question is directed towards our marriage officers, that is Pastor Zua and Pastor Nyakuchka. So about 2 years ago, I read an article on the Herald which detailed the alarming rising cases of divorce, especially among young couples. So my question is, how best as youth can we navigate this negativity surrounding divorce, especially considering that we love marriage and we want to be married? Thank you.
Thank you so much for such a very important question. Yeah, it's so true that divorce cases are on the rise, especially on the youths, from the young people. There are various causes to that rise in divorce. Through my colleagues, I think we can just highlight just a few that leads to such an unfortunate incident. It's not good that you get married this year. Next year, we are told that this very same couple that you married, they are no longer staying together. Amongst the top 5 causes of divorce is marital unfaithfulness. It ranks amongst 2 or 3. Marital unfaithfulness, promiscuity. That's the most dangerous thing that anyone can do when you are married. This is the reason why such conferences, such gatherings are made, so that they prepare us, they equip us, so that when we get into marriage, such cases of divorce may never be witnessed amongst us. The second cause of divorce is communication, lack of it thereof. These 2, unfaithfulness, lack of communication, are the major causes of divorce. Maybe I can leave to my other brothers so that if there be any other, they can expound further on that.
Okay, thank you so much, my brother, Pastor Zuba. He has highlighted the main causes of divorce. And I want to add on to that and try and also get to what he said, what we can do to help the young couples so that they don't end up in the same scenario. I think the first thing that you can do is exactly what you have done, to be here, coming here. What am I saying? Attending the teachings. We have had programs where our father is teaching couples. You need to attend those things. One thing you need to know from the teaching of our father, one of the teachings, he said, when something has been permitted, it is attacked because it has just been permitted. So when you get married, by law, you have been permitted to be together. The law of God, the law of the church, the law of the country, you have been allowed to be together. Now that the relationship of the church and Jesus Christ is likened to the relationship of husband and wife, the attacks by the devil of such an institution called marriage is great, because the devil is always being reminded of the relationship of Jesus and the church. So each time you are in marriage, you're
in a battleground.
because the devil wants to destroy the relationship between Christ and the church. So how do you conquer such a war or such challenges? You get to these seminars where you are being taught by people who carry the grace of such things. And you also get to get advice from the proper people. If you get advice from the wrong people, you end up making a wrong decision. There are things that I used to do sometimes, maybe when I was 5 years in marriage. I would even have some tantrums, behave in awkward ways in my marriage with my wife here at 5 years. But right now, when those things happen, I laugh. Why? Because yes, it's the test of time. What made me get into time? it was the teachings that we were going through. They made us understand that this is minor. You see, when somebody tells you the way you are looking at things is wrong, you just listened from the service that we came from, moving from our past, when our father was talking about the background, where we come from. You get into a marriage with a wrong perception. What you saw your father doing, you think it is actually marriage, yet it was wrong. Thank God if you had a good father who showed you the correct thing. So you may enter into a marriage setup, as our father was teaching, with the wrong perception. So you may end up condemning your marriage, thinking it's not working, yet it is the wrong perception. It's actually working as it is. So you need to check on those people who have got the marriages that have made it in their marriages. Look at good examples. Don't look at the bad examples. One thing you need to know, those that are married, those that are yet to be married, you must know that it's like, I always give this example. It's like those that have passed through the academic circles, you will bear with me that a person can be called distinctive, yet they failed some other things. You may score 75% in other disciplines and you're called distinctive. Others 80%, others 90%. But you still have 10% that you failed. But still it's a distinctive setup. So the same even in marriages. There may be some errors, some challenges here and there. You may have a good wife, good looking, everything beautiful, but she doesn't like your relatives. You may also have a beautiful wife, you laugh together, you're always loving each other, but she's sometimes moody. That's the 10%. It's still a distinctive marriage. So, so don't magnify things. You may see things as if they are too big, yet they are not too big. So you get help from interacting with those that are making it. Ask those that have been in marriage for 5 years, 10 years, and learn something from them. It's very easy. Divorce can be wiped out if attitude and mentality and perception is addressed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pastor Nyakuchga. I just wanted to ask a question. I know you guys, you're newly married. I also want to ask a question. Why haven't you divorced as yet? How is it going there? Just tell us. And definitely my next question is going to come because I've got a question that is coming from someone who's in here who's saying, me and my boyfriend, we have been doing sexting on the phone. How healthy is that? Should we continue, and is that a sin? So you can decide to answer this question or the previous one, but definitely this one, she really needs an answer.
Thank you, man of God, for the question. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad, for allowing us to be on this platform that is far, far bigger than ourselves. Thank you for the opportunity. Now, as for how marriage is going, let me just keep it short. It's a strong recommend. It's good.
So the reason why you have not divorced is because it is splendid and good. It is like milk and honey.
Very sweet.
It is the promised land.
Oh, wow.
And then moving on to our next question.
Okay. So I think that's a very good question and a very valid question. I think those of an older generation might not quite understand our position when it comes to such questions because, these guys, they used to write letters. they had to wait, And by the time the response comes, maybe the excitement of what you had initially sexted is gone. Okay. What I would say is this question is very similar to me to yet another question that sometimes I hear, when I interact with my brothers, when I interact with my sisters, which is, when someone is asking if sexting is okay or if it's wrong, I suppose you're trying to understand, how far can I go when I love this person, and I'm trying to flirt, I'm trying to be playful. But in the same breath, I feel like that question can also be brought a bit broader to people who also ask, Kutia, how far am I even supposed to go when, I have my girlfriend, who I love? Where is the line? Do I hold her hand? Is that okay? Do I give her a hug? Is that okay?
Say Tembo, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me keep it short.
We want to go to the crux of the story, okay?
Okay. All right.
What is sexting?
Okay.
What involves sexting? So that
Okay.
at least these people you are saying they used to write letters.
Yes.
That would arrive. They don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
So please
All right.
explain to us.
So I suppose for the benefit of others, when we talk of sexting here, you are trying to hold on. Yeah. Okay. So let me put it like this. Sexting can come in two forms, right? It can be visual, right? When we say visual, we're talking about nude pictures that are being sent, from one person to the next, right? And it can also be put in words. There are certain words that evoke a certain type of excitement and emotion.
You are explaining very well and I'm following.
Right?
Can you clearly span out
Yes.
the part of the words part? What? Don't worry. He's coming close to you.
Yes.
He's explaining it, and I know you guys, you know what he's talking about. Yes. So let's give him the liberty to spread his wings and explain.
There's a difference between telling your girlfriend that I love you, you're special to me, I feel like you're the only one in the world. I would categorize things like that as maybe flirtation, right? When you talk of sexting, it's, I'm going to spin you around. Something like you're an impala and I am a lion, and I would devour you in ways that you never.
So now that you have come home,
Yes.
and now everyone else is aware and you have an understanding of what that is that good from your point of view? And how did you win against that up until you find yourself married?
Thank you, man of God. So, firstly, I would like to say that, look, I may not be able to define to you, Kuti, this is where the line is when you are doing these things. But what I can tell you is when you are asking if it's okay, I also then have a question within me that what is the natural progression of having sent these sexy messages and having aroused within yourself and the person that you love an eager want for something when that in fact cannot be quenched in your current predicament, in the current stage that your relationship is in. So what I'm trying to say, thank you. What I'm trying to say is, I think the Bible says, flee away from all, it didn't just say sin, but it even went further and said appearances. Flee from appearances of sin. So I feel, when you're asking this question, you might be trying to, get off on a technicality, right? But, this is you pushing the bounds, right? And unfortunately, this is how we were made, right? Once you've said the thing, you now want to experience the thing. This is the natural progression. Arimboperi pagutumira munhu message. You don't just send the message and then you find yourself aroused and then you are fine. Perhaps today, a message is okay. Tomorrow, you might find that that same message that you sent yesterday no longer gives you that same feeling because the novelty is gone. Then you're in pursuit of what's the next line. And you might not like where you end up. And I say this also from, experience, having been newlywed, and having dated my now wife for 7 years, believe it or not.
That's a doctorate in courtship. Right?
And what I would say is, and it is not because her and myself are some kind of experts in any of this. We have stumbled in some of the areas that you are stumbling in. But we always came back to the teachings of Mama, of the teachings of Daddy. Those ought to be your guide. And I think one of the things that I really love, and it really worked for us, right, that he ascribes is the order in which you tackle these things. Meaning, friendship first, courtship next, and then marriage. Right? The danger, again, of this whole sexting thing now is once you are, as a man, you are aroused, right? I mean, hands the gloves off, right? So once as a guy, right, you are aroused, you stop thinking with this head and you think with the wrong one. And I feel, no.
Let's pay attention.
And I feel once you do, the decisions that come from there are not the best. And the questions that Mama and Baba pose us to ask in friendship to prepare for courtship and in courtship to prepare for marriage, those questions, they'll never come to mind once you are thinking in that way. Yes. Thank you.
I think I wouldn't know if the panelists have got something to say, but I felt like he nailed it right on the head. I saw I saw this challenge dying a natural death in this place. Isn't that so, youth? We need to be careful on the steps and the things that we do and know the implications thereof. Maybe I would just want to ask if probably we can get another question coming through. Please.
Thank you, Baba and Mama, for this opportunity. My question goes like this. What do I do if I have a boyfriend and you can to see that he has all the qualities that you want in a man, but then we have different religious backgrounds, of which most people say that Anzi Rora Naive Matongo.
That you have to marry from amongst your own people.
But yet, vacho church, you can see it.
And yet, when it comes to the young men in the church, you can see.
Order. Order, chairman. Let's give her time to speak. Let's give her time.
So my question is, what should I do then if you have different religious backgrounds?
No, wait, my sister, please play back. You have something that you said. You said, Kanave Munova Chita say. Please, can you enlighten?
You said that when the guys from this church are doing something, what are they doing?
So that this issue can be solved once and for all. I'm sorry, I'm also, panelist, if you allow me, I'm also going to take this microphone a little bit even into the audience to hear or to justify what they want to say. So my sister, please, feel free to say what's on your heart. And please, we listen and we don't. Thank you. Go ahead.
Alright, like when church macho, sometimes they are players and
sometimes the guys from church are players.
And also like
Let's listen, please.
and of which they try to like look down upon you, and also maybe kana une,
sometimes they look down on you, and
or maybe kana une that image yekuti you are that girl, vanoda kubva vada kukudzikisira kuti iwewe aunamboipa,
and if you have high self-esteem, they try to take it away from you.
Okay. So your question at the end, you wanted, boys, murudagu daira.
Do you guys want to respond to this?
Muruguta munga pomerwe muripo.
You're saying that you can't be accused of this in your presence.
Okay, Pastor Marapara, please. We are not going to shame each other. We are going to answer responsibly and mature. Okay?
Okay, I have a brother of mine who wants to say something.
Okay. Thank you so much for the opportunity. My understanding is like church chpatar.
Church is a hospital.
We are all here to be restored. And whoever you meet here understand
that we are all patients.
And when it comes to opposite religious beliefs, I believe
Can you give him time to speak, please?
When it comes to I'll speak on my behalf. I think where your interest is, that's where you go. If you feel like muno machona,
If you feel like in here,
then you go to the next. That's all I have to
you
say.
can't find what you're looking for, then leave it be and go where you find what you are looking for.
Anyone else would want to comment? Pastor Lovemore, do you have someone? Let's give it time.
Thank you. All right. Allow me to just relate in what our Father taught us this morning. And I would like to say that I believe not all, but some of, or the majority of the expectations that our sisters have, at times they're a bit above the bar. So, what then begins to happen is that she's got an Indian type of marriage or relationship that she's expecting. And then, in reality, it's different. So I believe that their expectations, they're not bad even in standards as well. But then they don't necessarily adjust them to what's on the ground. And then this ends up now breaking their hearts, saying, oh, come on, I'm church, this and that. But the question is, does what she is expecting actually realistic, or we need to give a dagger from the mountain and build our own man?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Never scan. My expectations in you are
Young ladies, are your expectations too high?
So, why don't you answer for yourself so that we hear why? Why does it seem like expectations are high? What is it exactly that you're looking for from a guy? Because from the way that
Yes,
I'm seeing,
we have a lady here. Please come through.
Please go ahead.
All right, let's hear from our sister.
Thank you for this opportunity. It's not like we are expecting too much from these guys. But there's a moment here at least if I get a high from a guy, no good I'm coming up in church. But they don't do that. They're just expecting us to but can brag, but we don't brag.
And the impression is created that the girls from this church are braggarts, and yet we don't brag.
it looks like it's a war that we can never finish, yeah? There's also a question that she asked. She said, is it bad for you to date someone who's outside of this church, probably who's non-Pentecostal? I just want to take it over to our reserve panelists. Maybe, Pastor Manges, if you're comfortable, you could just go through this and maybe just tell us, is it good for someone to date someone who's from another ministry or probably from another denomination? What's your take?
Thank you so much, Baba na Mama. We appreciate. Maybe just to try and help my sister there concerning having a relationship and getting married to someone who goes to the church that you don't attend. There are so many answers there. But what I think first, before we talk about churches, is you need to start the person very well. Does he meet the standards that you think or that you understand concerning marriage? You have an understanding of a marriage. I can give you an example of ourselves. Our understanding of marriage, it is based on the teachings of this house. So, now engaging yourself to someone who carries a different understanding concerning marriage. Though marriages are the same, maybe in terms of the meaning, but you can tell that the way we run marriage, it's a bit different. We have got friends, we have got relatives that goes to other churches. The way they handle their marriages, it's totally different from the way we handle our marriages in this ministry. So, if you are going to say yes to get married to such kind of a person, understand the challenges and the consequences that you will face on top of the things that made you to love that man. And also, as long as you don't go maybe to same place of worship, your time together might be a challenge. Meaning to say, even the way you know that guy, it might be not enough as you are supposed to know him. You are calling our brothers here players. Maybe he's also playing you with someone there because you are not there. So I believe that in terms of different churches, it might be possible to get married to such kind of a person, but you need to work very hard as compared to get married in a house. We will hear more maybe from the panelists, but imagine if you are going to face challenges in that marriage, because you have the teachings of this house, he has the teachings of that house. Who is going to give you counseling? What kind of a standard is he going to be using? These are some of the questions that you should ask yourself maybe before you give a permanent decision. Thank you.
My sister, are you answered? And also, I'm sorry, sir, Pastor. Please allow me to ask this. So are you saying that a person should never marry someone from outside? Or you're saying that it has to be their choice to decide, knowing the consequences that will come thereafter? So you're saying someone has to decide? Oh,
I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm saying if you want to make that kind of a decision, I do believe you need to go an extra mile in terms of digging more information, calculating the consequences, observing the advantages, putting everything on the scale. Then if your scale is leading you to do that, I think you can.
Because
I thought it was maybe another form of evangelism.
Pastor Jakujka or Pastor Zuva, maybe you could come in to just conclude on this. Or maybe Maizua, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mom and Dad, for giving us this opportunity to answer your children. My answer to my sister, I think there's nothing wrong for her to get married to someone who is not coming this side. There's nothing wrong. Why? Because out there, there
are sons of our father who listen to our father. There are many of them.
For example, kwatinogara kuBulawayo ndofunga ndine vanasikana about 3 or 4.
Bulawayo, where we stay, we have about 4 or 3 girls
vakaroorwa nevanhu vanga vasingauye kuUFIC.
Who were married to people that did not attend our ministry.
But after marriage, they are coming to UFIC. So I noticed kuti pane vanasikana
that there are certain young ladies
nevanakomana vari kugadzirwa nemuprofita.
and young men that are being molded by the prophet.
Then vakomana vari kunze uko,
And then the young men
they
that are out
admire vasikana vekuno uko because vakagadzirwa.
they admire the girls from this ministry because of how they've been molded.
On the other side, pane ma-challenges wanogona kuzoitika akazoramba kuuya kunoko.
There are challenges that may arise if he then refuses
becomes
to
a challenge.
attend this ministry. It can become a challenge.
But to address that, our father and our mother have created an opportunity like this, so that kana uchibva kwaMutare, you can see someone
So that if you come from
Masvingo,
you might.
you can see someone asiri wekubranch kwenyu,
That might not be a
mukana
member of your branch.
wachagadzirirwa
It's an opportunity that we've
wekuti
been given
tionane.
to see
Thank
each
you.
other.
You are well answered, my sister.
Yes, thank you, man of God.
It is well. Maybe we could move on to our next question.
Okay, over here, I have a question, and it goes like this. Is it okay to date a lady who was once married before? And also, is it allowed in our church? And what do you think about the age difference? I am in a relationship with a lady that was once married, and also she is older than me. Is age just a number? And is it a must that I should be older than her? Thank you.
But we don't judge. We listen. Good. I'm sorry, Pastor Tafazwa. Maybe you could take this one for us, please. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for the opportunity. There are people who dated ladies or girls who were married before, and they went on to have beautiful marriages. That I know personally, being a pastor. So generally, I don't think there's a problem, as long as this is the person that you feel you want to spend the rest of your life with. And the things that you like, the things that you look for in a man or a woman are satisfied, then every other thing will come second. But also you have to understand again, like what my brother was saying, the things that also, which also comes with an individual who has been married before. Understanding that they've lived a certain life, mukasange muine maturity you are bound to be comparing this individual that you now have with the past relationship. So it requires a lot of maturity, but I'm trying not to take too much time, but if you want that individual, if you think she's okay, age, pane dzimwe age dzekuti, I think we spoke about this last year, this very same question. Pane dzimwe age dzekuti, what you think.
There are certain ages where what you think.
When you say, I love this person, she's older than me, but I love her, I like her. What is it exactly that you're calling you like her? What exactly do you mean when you say you like her? Because we also have situations where we've got young people who, I'm sorry, I'm sitting too close to Grace, so I'm trying to avoid certain statements. But when you say you like her, what is it exactly that you like? What you like about this individual? Because we have young people nowadays who would prefer an older lady. Probably they are now established in life. This young man is calculating, if I get married to this one, maybe I already have a car, maybe we already have a house. So it's not really love, but they don't want to be responsible. So you get married, but 2, 3 years, 10 years down the line, you begin to see that this individual is really older than me. And that is going to be a challenge. This is why generally it's recommended that you marry someone younger than you. If you feel you love them, if you feel they meet your standards, please go ahead. But make sure that your reasons are genuine. Make sure that you have done your homework, you are ready to take this individual and the parcels they bring, luggage yavo.
They come with their own.
You have to be man enough to be able to take her and her luggage. I think that's what I can say to that. Thank you.
Maybe our panelists would like to say something. Is it a satisfying answer? Okay. Maybe we'll move on to the next question.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm asking a personal question, very close to home. So I want to ask how to navigate the situation where I'm in a relationship with someone, but I am traveling outside the country for a master's, which is probably going to take about 2 years max. However, within that same period of time, it's highly likely that my partner is going to bring the cows home before I'm done with education. And it seems that he is not comfortable with having it done online because I may not have the finances to come back for the ceremony. So I wanted to ask how to navigate that situation.
Sorry, before you answer that question, I just also want to hear from the youth. Maybe, what do you think about such a situation? What do you think, my sister? It's just a thought. We are not saying she's going by that.
All right, thank you. I'd say that your accomplishment would be his too, in a way. So if he's already planning to marry you, I think he can wait 2 more years. Or he can, listen.
It's okay.
If he wants
This is
her-
what
if he
she
wants-
thinks. This is
if
what
he
she
wants
thinks.
you to be present, and you know that this opportunity you've gotten it, you might not get it again and you want it, and he really wants you to be there, and that's his ultimate choice, he could wait. But then if he wants to marry you right now and you have to go to school, you can do it online and then you come back. But I do not recommend you missing school, girl. No. Yeah.
Is there someone with a different opinion? A quick one. A very different opinion. A very quick one.
All right, we have a gentleman here who wants to say something.
Okay, very quick.
Thank you so much, Baba, for this opportunity. This is my thinking. Back then, I think about 3 years ago, Baba was prophesying to a certain lady. It was the first prophetic service after COVID. And then there was a situation like this, and Baba said, you can decide to go to school anytime, but you cannot decide as a lady to say today or this year I want to be married, and it is so sure that it happens. So what I think is school opportunities, yes, opportunities might not always come, but opportunities are opportunities. If we look for opportunities, seek opportunities, and we will always find opportunities. But there is only one man that is willing to take you, and you might never meet that man again.
Maybe I could get someone. It's good to also hear from a man's perspective so that you hear what boys think, what men think as well. Can I get this gentleman with me here?
Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you very much, Baba and Mama, for this opportunity. I think there was a bit of a misunderstanding on what she really asked. She said the guy has no, I don't think there's a problem with her going to school. The guy is saying he would like for her to be present when the rota happens. And she has come across a lifetime opportunity to go to school, which I don't think the guy has a problem with. The guy might even be in support of her going to school. She then asked, how can I navigate through the guy wanting me to be here? I might not have the funds to come back. So she is wanting to know if she can find the funds to come back, or should she ask this guy to fund her if he wants her to come back? Of which I also think that the people who get married whilst they're not around. Some people marry people who are abroad, and sometimes they're not around. So she's just trying to find out how she can navigate. But I don't think the issue is the guy doesn't want her to go to school. And I also don't advise her that she misses a lifetime opportunity on school, because it's very important. Because I also got an opportunity and I couldn't miss it for anything. So it's very important for her. She might not, yes, opportunities do come and go, but she might never get it again. So it seems we have got a stalemate here with two different perspectives coming from two different men. What do you think, our panelists, about this situation?
Thank you, Pastor, and thank you for your question. I think I was discussing with my wife, and I feel what she had to say was
maybe we could
made
hear
a lot of
from her.
sense.
Yeah.
So I would love to pass on the mic to her. Thank you.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for this opportunity. I really do appreciate it. So from my standpoint, what I'd like to know first and foremost, just for my own curiosity and maybe to help my answer a little bit more, how long have you been together? How deeply invested have you, where are you in this relationship? I know you want to get married, but could you just let me know how long has it been? Is it an issue of, I've invested like 6 years already and now I've got this opportunity, I don't want to let go of the 6 years, or just help me understand a little bit.
We just over a year.
Hey. We listen, we don't judge. Okay. So,
Shh. Let's pay
I
attention,
believe
please.
you can definitely find your life partner in less than a year. Okay? It's okay. I know people are humbling and it's okay. I just wanted to know how much time you've invested so that I know is this an issue of the time that I've invested? Am I also going to have time to invest in someone else for that long? That's what I want to understand. But it is possible to find your life partner in a year. And if you found him, good for you. I definitely agree with the viewpoint that learning opportunities will definitely come, However, I do wonder, when it comes to compromise in relationships, I'm struggling to wrap my head around the fact that he wants you there and is not willing to meet halfway. What's the ultimatum if you do end up going? Because one key thing in relationships is being able to compromise, especially if it's something that is so important to you. Okay, education is very important. I got my master's straight after my degree, and he supported me through it. Okay? So I want you to have the same thing. I don't want you to get married, and then you end up regretting for the rest of your life, I could have had that degree. I could have had that master's. Okay? Marriage shouldn't be something whereby you have to sacrifice, something that you're really passionate about just for the sake of being Mrs. Ningi. So I want to understand, what is your halfway point with this man? What's the compromise? You've decided to go. What is he saying?
Are
you gonna break up?
No. We were still at loggerheads and trying to navigate. If, let's say, we wait until after the 2 years, how are we going to navigate the relationship when it's long distance? So we were still trying to,
Okay, good. So a decision hasn't been made yet. So I would advise you to go back to the drawing board. If your relationship is following the correct principles, you guys really need to communicate with each other and find a compromise that both of you are going to be happy with. If you're going to choose to go your separate ways, let it be something that you both want. And you should also come to terms with the fact that you've let go of a potential marriage and be okay with it. It's okay. Not everyone is meant to be your husband, okay? However, if you do decide to go forward with this thing, there should be no resentment on either parties. It shouldn't be, but you made me wait 2 years when I wanted to get it. You know? It shouldn't be like that. So I would say go back to the drawing board. You've already done a really great thing, which is that you're talking about it. It's not a my way or the highway. That's already a point to you guys, so well done. Continue talking about it and reach a compromise. And if you can't reach that compromise, it's okay to let go sometimes. Sometimes, what's that cheesy saying? If you really love something and you let it go, if it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't come back, it was never yours. Sometimes it's true. Sometimes it's just right person, wrong time. It's okay.
I can see.
Thank you.
I can see Tete Mnyaradz is clapping her hands, but I can see Sekuru Nyakujga is not clapping his hands. I just wanted to know if our panelists are sharing the same sentiments or they have a different standpoint, or you're okay with what has been said so far.
Okay, thank you so much. We are sharing the same sentiments with Mrs. Tembo.
Thank you so much. I have a question here. In my previous relationship, this is not me saying, okay? In my previous relationship, we were engaged in sexual activities, and I would notice the impact of that in my service at church. So when I moved on with someone who I thought and who seemed to be different. And I was with the hope that she also would control me from the way that I see things. Now, she seems to be having some sort of peer pressure. And I have been trying so much to avoid finding ourselves in a private place that might trigger this to happen. But as a person who was involved in this before, I feel like I cannot avoid it any longer. So what do I do to make sure that with my current relationship, I won't fall to that again, given that my girlfriend now is facing peer pressure and even myself? It's open either to the reserve panelist, and it's also open to the main panelist. Anyone can take up this question.
Thank you so much. Yeah. This thing is so critical. But I must admit, panapa parakuradza kuti generation yedu isusu ne generation yanhasi,
our generation and the current generation
zvakasiyana,
are completely different.
Nyaya dze-sexting idzi,
these issues of sexting
and the whole lot of related issues, isu patakangokura,
when we were growing up,
a no was simply a no. Now, what is affecting the current generation is the advent of social media. iri kuisa pressure muvana vedu.
It's putting our kids under pressure.
Chiri kukonzera kuti vana vedu vapinde mumasituations akadai kazhinji ma-environments avanozvipinza.
Most times what's causing them to get into these kinds of situations
Especially
is the
social
environment
media.
that they get into.
Panga pachitaurwa nenyaya ye-sexting and stuff, there was a scripture that came into my mind.
When they were speaking about sexting,
When Songs of Solomon, I think it's chapter 8, verse 3 and 4, when Solomon was charging to the daughters of Jerusalem, and he said, "Daughters of Jerusalem, I charge you, don't awaken love until it so desires." In Shona, it says, "Musamutsa rudo kusvikira rwakuda." We are talking about environments. We are talking about sexting. We are talking about kuzvipinza muma environments ausingazogoni kudzoka maari.
talking about getting yourself into situations you can't come out of.
Ndakambopa a very bad example.
I once gave a very bad
As I was
example.
teaching this subject in Bulawayo. Ndakasvika pandakazodzidzisa ma-youth
Got to the
ndikapa
point where
a
I taught the
sad
youths.
example of how I lost my twin brother. We were swimming and there was a deep end. So he loved kundotambira kunonyudza.
He loved playing in the deep end.
So I tried to restrict him. Kuti ikoko kunonyudza kwauri kutambira.
Telling him that there where you enjoy playing, you're likely to sink.
Aindideedza achiti uya titambire kunoko.
He would call me over and say, let's play on this side. Let's swim on the...
And I was saying, ndinotya kutambira kunonyudza.
And I said, I'm fearful of playing where I might drown.
Eventually, akaramba achienda.
But he kept going on.
But the moment when he was in the deep end, he could not resist the force of the water. And the rest is history. I lost him. Ndakatarisa kudai.
While I watched.
Nekuti ndakamuti ibva kunonyudza.
Because I told him to come out from the deep end.
Kwekunge muchisenderana manudes.
Where you send each other nudes.
Ibva kunonyudza.
Come out of the deep end.
That's how serious this matter is. Those are because
That's what kept
ndakaona
me.
twin brother wangu achifa nekuti akafarira kutambira kunonyudza.
Because I watched my twin dying because he
Saka
liked playing in the deep end.
pandakakura,
So as I grew up,
in my relationship na mama mfundisi,
Mom,
I never allowed myself kuita zvinhu zvandoziva kuti izvi zvinotikuwadzisa.
do anything that I knew I would end up regretting.
Takazosvika patakachata
We got to a point of getting married.
ndiri jaya vari mhandara. And
we
we
were
are
both
proud of
virgins.
that. We are proud of that. So, charge ya Solomon.
So Solomon's charge,
Ibatisisei, because NKJV inoti, I charge you daughters of UFIC. Don't awaken love. Musamutsa.
don't
Kumusamutsa.
awaken, stirring up.
Rudo.
Love.
Kusvikira rwada. Ndozvinotaura
Until
Shona.
it is ready.
Rudo kunzwa kuti rudo rwaakuda. Zvataurwa naMr. Tembo vachiti unopedzisira usafungi nepfungwa idzi.
Where Mr. Tembo
Ndokuita
highlighted,
awaken love. Kusvikira irwo rudo rwega.
until love itself
Ndo runerwa kuti panapa ndaakuda.
is the one
I
to
think
tell you
mandinzwa.
that it now is ready. I think you know what I mean.
If my Shona was good, I would say you have said it. Nemo, nemo, chaimo, chaimo.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Pastor Zoa. I have a question here. I know it's a topic that we haven't touched, and I felt that it's something that definitely needs to be addressed. Hello? You're saying hello to the person that is asked. Hello? Good. I am a lady who is now mature. I've been in many relationships with men. I've given up on men because because of the heartbreaks. Now I'm starting to have feelings for other girls. What do I do? To be very honest, people of God, this is a very strong issue that probably Pastor Simba, you could add up just a little bit of time for us so that it could be answered. Because that's what's happening in our environment now, where we now have boys that are attracted to boys and girls that are now attracted to girls. It's a pandemic. Can you help us with this question?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. Actually, it's a pandemic, like you have said. It used to be a phenomenon that we would hear from abroad, from magazines, until now, it's now within us. Probably we need to address a first question, which should be, is there any chance that there can be a mistake on someone's gender? You grow up being called a girl, then when you are mature, you decide, oh, I think it was wrong, I'm a man. Or you grow up as a man, then at a certain stage you discover, oh, I was wrong, I'm a woman. That is where it actually starts. And I don't know from the question that was asked whether that person now has feelings as a man or as a woman. Because even though she's a lady, as she said, as she's now desiring other women, how is she desiring? As a woman or as a man? Because even in that relationship, there has to be a man and a woman.
So maybe you could answer us from both perspectives.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't want the person to answer. Yeah, for the concealment of their identity. Right. So, if you check at that, there is a discord that is now taking place. It's actually the work of the devil who is making things that are abnormal to seem normal. And it is actually a pandemic, like you have said, because in other countries, even marriage officers are now compelled to even preside over marriages of such caliber. You are not even allowed to refer to somebody by the gender that you perceive yourself. You ask them for their gender, and they have to tell you their gender, not what you see. So if that person is now entering into such a setup because of frustration, because of heartbreaks, I just want to ask that person, and I don't want them to answer, let them answer in their heart. Who told you that even if you love other women, they are not going to cause that heartbreak? Let's assume you are going to love other women like yourself. What will you do if they cause you heartbreak? Which gender now are you going to switch to? So, I think this friend of ours, this sister of ours, has to address a spirit that is on her. Could it be a spirit of rejection? Could it be a spirit of heartbreaks? What is it that is causing heartbreaks in your life? Check from our father's sermon in the morning, your background. Where are you coming from? what has happened in the marriage is in your genealogy. Because you need to address this right from the root cause. Personally, I checked in the family that I come from. I did like what you call a family tree. I looked at my Sekuru, my great-grandfather. He had 2 wives. Huh? The other one was given as a bonus. As the aunt grew old, she requested the other one to come. In those days, they were accepting that. So he died having 2 wives. Then my grandfather had 1 wife. Then going down, but I checked, they were having wives like that. It was okay. But there was an issue of womanizing that was taking place in our genealogy. And I identified that. And I said, for me to conquer this, I have to fight because it's a spirit in our blood. Like our father was teaching. So, my sister, I want you to take a look at the marriages in your clan. You could see it as a problem peculiar to you, but maybe it's a generational thing. You need to seek advice. Men of God, help me here.
You are the people that should clamor for help when you see the man of God.
Because the devil has conquered you in the first setup. He wants to take you deeper. Where
you will drown.
So he has conquered Kuti. You now believe you have a problem. Maybe the ladies will do. Now you are even going to the deeper end. Because this issue of loving men and ladies loving ladies is the one that caused that pandemonium at Sodom and Gomorrah. If you are a child of God who is in here, you must be afraid of that because you know it made God destroy the whole city. So what God will do about you when he did that with a city, what will he do with you? So my advice to you, my sister, don't be desperate. I've seen people getting married even at 60 years. I've seen people getting married at 50 years, 48 years, 45 years. The only problem is people are quick to regard themselves as desperate or condemned. Just wait for your time. What's the rush? If we were to ask the age of that person, you'll be surprised. Maybe they are 20 and they are already feeling rejection and they have already passed through 6 relationships at 20 years. The people of this generation, we are doing our things too fast. You come quick and you go quick. So I'm encouraging my sister, don't condemn yourself. Don't choose the route you have chosen. It's actually going to the deeper end. You will sink more and even more. If I were you, I would seek deliverance from the spirit of rejection and heartbreaking so that I'll have a decent relationship which will result in a good marriage. And also, it's not only about marriage. Remember what our father said in the morning. It's not about entering into a marriage, but it's also about staying in the marriage. Because you can enter into a marriage easy. But to stay in the marriage, it's another miracle. So you girls, you boys, as you pray, don't only pray for entering into a marriage. Also pray for staying in the marriage. I may preach.
Pastor Zua, would you want to add on? The temples? You know, the way that you've answered Pastor Nyakujga, the biggest question that always reigns sometimes in my mind is, what exactly causes these things to happen? Are they using this emotion as a cover-up to what exactly they had already intended to do? And my next question usually is, if someone is entangled in such a predicament, how do you find help? What is the best possible way of doing it? I was discussing with someone the same issue a few days ago, and she was saying that in the 80s, people used to be shocked in the head because they used to say that it's a malfunction of the mind for people to be attracted to another of the same sex. It's a malfunction, it's a sickness of the mind. Then now, it's now being celebrated as something that is normal. It's as if you're celebrating Manaru no Bata Moto. That's what you're now doing.
Celebrating a
What
child
is
walking
this?
into fire.
What's happening? How do we, as young people, find ourselves in a space where we get help for such an issue? Because it's happening amongst us. Probably, definitely we have someone, because someone has asked a question. What do we do? How do we solve this issue? What causes it? Maybe in brief.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me answer the first part that you asked, where you said, how is it coming by? Just in a nutshell. I think it all comes from what you have said, the social media. We have had people who are well-to-do in society. We have had great footballers, great athletes, great leaders who have openly declared that they are like that. And others, because they've looked up to those people as their role models, they have given in to that. So probably I would say, who have you made your role model? If I have made my father and my mother as role models, that's the reason why I am where I am, because I'm looking forward to a particular kind of role models. Had it not been for my father and my mother who are there, probably we could have divorced. Way back. But you look at your role model and you say, how can I do this when my role model does this? So I think the grace that you need is to choose, to be being able to choose the correct role model. And you don't need to struggle with this, because we already have our models here. Just look at your father and your mother, make them a standard. You know, Paul says, follow me as I follow Christ. I am comfortable to say, follow our father and mother as they follow Christ. You can never think of that issue as long as you follow the correct models. So have the influence, peer pressure, make them your peers and let them pressure you to the kind of life that they are leading.
People of God, let's just clap our hands for our panelists. We can appreciate what they have said. Come on, let's clap our hands. Let's appreciate the wisdom and the information. You know, the wealth of information that you have shown today, definitely a generation has been saved, because the information that we didn't have, that we now have, it has indeed liberated us from our thoughts and from our lack of knowledge. We all perish because we don't have information, and information is what we have been given today. And this has been our segment of couples session. If we are clapping our hands, we have to do it better. Mom and Dad, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity so that we can learn and we hear different views and understand these social conundrums that we have and know how to best approach these situations. We are grateful, Mom and Dad. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pastor Simba and Pastor Chantel, for this opportunity as well, for us youth to learn, to gather around and get information. Thank you so much. Mom and Dad, would like to thank you for your presence here. And would like to talk about youth issues. If you could allow us. Let's clap our hands for our mom and dad as they take their leave. Come on, we can do better, we can do better.